ASP is excited to announce its second annual Images of Distinction competition. Welcome to Sandra Pearce. Good. Hey, tell me a little bit about your business.
I still do photography, some. Not my main thing. I teach more now than I do photography because doing both, if you do to the extent that I do, creates a few problems of doing the photography part. So I teach Photoshop painting. Just got back from Colorado, did a 2-day workshop there. So it's really nice that we are back to being in person.
Oh, sweet. All right. So do you remember your first merit or your first loan image?
I do, and it may not even merit now.
That's true, but tell me real quick about it.
When you look back at what we did then compared to how much we have grown with all the education, and that's why it's like with ASP, what a great thing they're doing with all the education that they're offering that we didn't have.
So how long have you been a judge?
Probably around 10 since I began the journey.
Gotcha.
Approved, I'm not really sure. It's something I don't keep up with time of things that's not important. The importance is I judge and I enjoy it. I even have gotten to the point, I do remember the first time with a critique. Do you remember who I called when I couldn't get it to work out? I did. I called you and you said, you've got to click on the image to get it to go to the next page. And from there, I think of you every time I do a critique.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. If you could pick one of the elements besides impact, which one jumps into your head right away?
Technical.
And why is it technical?
We don't get the things right. It's hard sometimes for people to realize that we tend to like all of our images that we enter. Of course we do. But sometimes we overlook the tiniest little thing that someone else it jumps out to. If you can get the impact going, like you said, and you can get the technical takes in so many things like light, direction of light, if everything's lit properly. That goes into technical with me. The way you pose someone, I know that shouldn't be technical, but it is technical. Those are the things we learn with that type of thing. So the technical to me, if you have things that are not what photographers should be seeing, that makes you an amateur. And it doesn't mean that you are where you need to be.
Gotcha. If you could have one piece of advice for makers, whether they be new makers or even long-time makers in competing, what would you suggest?
Well, one of the things that I do tell people when I go to teach, and we do discuss competition a lot because it makes you grow so fast, a lot more than anything else that I have found. Competition makes you so much better as a photographer because as that photographer, every time you take an image, you take it for competition once you get hooked on it. But one thing that I would like to suggest, and this will reach a lot more people, when you are doing composites or when you're doing the art pieces where you put in where your images came from, people think that they have to put them in the way that they were taken rather than how they've used them. If you do an image and you flip it horizontally, and then your guide is not a horizontal, then your guide, if it's turned to the left, but you flipped it to the right, it takes a judge a little while to try to compare that image down to the bottom because your brain's seeing it left or right. So it doesn't matter if you flipped it. That's not a degree of difficulty. That's not anything a judge needs to know. Make your guide look the same direction as what you use it.
Okay.
Because you know When we look at it, you have a small amount of time to see. And so what happens is we look at that and our brain's trying to process it, flip the other way, and you want us to enjoy all of your image.
Sweet. Hey, thanks for talking to us today, Sandra.
Well, thank you for having me.
Mark your calendars now and get ready for the ASP Images of Distinction.